Most sleep techs make this critical mistake, adding oxygen before fixing the real problem. What if I told you the right pressure adjustment could eliminate desaturations without O2? In this video, I'll show you exactly how to titrate smarter, not harder.
Supplemental O2 and also CO2. So it's not as simple as that, right? There depends on the situation as well. And titration, when titrating patients, you can't just apply supplemental oxygen if you haven't maximized the titration. For example, you are titrating the patient and now you are at 15/11, okay, on bi-level titration, and the patient ends up with a hypopnea. And the patient is already, it's a 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and you're having hypopneas. You can always increase the IPAP without increasing the EPAP. So you're technically increasing the pressure support. Understood? So when you increase pressure support, you're technically increasing the volume of air, the tidal volume that the patient can actually have. So when increasing pressure support, it increases possible tidal volume. So when you increase tidal volume, increases the possibility of absorbing more oxygen. So that can address the residual hypopneas. It can also address desaturation, hypopneas, snoring, and all the rares, which are now all hypopneas. So is that clear? Again, to restate, when you increase only the IPAP, you leave the EPAP, you're increasing the pressure support. When you increase pressure support, you're increasing a possible tidal volume. When you increase tidal volume, it addresses hypopneas and desaturations as well as snoring. All right, treatment options again. We have CPAP, we have APAP, particularly for patients with more severe events during REM, okay? And then you also have bi-level when the patients cannot tolerate CPAP or they have persistent obstructive apnea at a pressure of 15 centimeters of water pressure on CPAP. So if the patient's on CPAP of 15, still having OSA, you can switch them to bi-level, all right? ASV, on the other hand, is when the patient's having some central apneas, change-Stokes respiration, and or TEXA or COMPSA. So COMPSA is complex sleep apnea. TEXA is the same exact thing, but it's treatment emergent central sleep apnea. This is particularly for ASV mode. And then you have VAPS also, volume assured pressure support, particularly for patients that are suffering from hypoventilation or neuromuscular disorders. Other options include surgical interventions. There's multiple surgical interventions. The most well-known before was the UPPP. They will cut pretty much all of the tissues that are close to the upper airway, or the uvula, the tonsils, or the adenoids. But they have other types of surgical interventions now that are less drastic. Okay, we will talk about that in our other chapters.
Yeah, regarding PAP and ASV, can I use BiPAP ST on patients who have kind stroke instead of ASV?
You can, in theory, since they have central, you can put a backup rate and try to eliminate the change-Stokes. However, because of the pathology, because of the disease itself, the patient will not respond positively. And the reason why is because you have a constant pressure support. So you're giving the patient the same exact volume of air, the same exact tidal volume each breath. And change-Stokes respiration, the way it occurs is there's a crescendo and then a decrescendo pattern. Meaning to say, the way the change-Stokes respiration is, its dynamics is that it will require and work better with a mode that will slowly give them a breath and increase the pressure support, and will also decrease pressure support to counteract the crescendo pattern. Okay, if you give them a constant tidal volume, you will only exacerbate the central apneas. Okay.